Peter, we've followed this story for a long time, and, the president has exclaimed frustration because basically with fentanyl coming up through the southern border, a lot of Americans are dying. Everybody knows somebody that has been touched by tragedy in some way, even if tangentially. You can talk about the trade war with China and say fentanyl was really at the core of this. I mean, the president was aggravated with the country over many issues, but fentanyl to me is what pushed him over the edge. It seems like we've made some progress, but not necessarily stopped the flow completely. What can we do in this administration to block China's efforts here? I mean, our trade measures, our tariffs, is that enough to do it?
Yeah, I mean, look, China has to pay a price for what they're doing. And again, I give the Trump administration a lot of credit. They recognize what's going on with fentanyl for what it is, which is a Chinese attack on the United States. Some people think that this is a drug overdose problem. It's not. Over 90% of the people that are dying of fentanyl overdoses don't even know they're taking fentanyl. They think they're taking a Vicodin or an Adderall. So this is very intentional by China. Trump has recognized that. I think putting trade is at front and center because unless China pays a price for what they are doing, they are going to continue to do it because it's a way of waging war on the United States by avoiding responsibility. And it's also profitable because a lot of the drug networks in Mexico are involved, but so are Chinese criminal networks. And we know that some of these networks of the Chinese organized crime are tied to the CCP. So it's a tangled web, and we need to make sure that they pay a price until they change their behavior.
But here's the problem. You sit down and you look Xi Jinping in the eye, and he will look you back in the eye, and he will lie to you. And we have seen him do this over and over and over again. Obviously, President Trump is a different leader than we have seen in the past, and I think that he will take every measure he has in his toolbox to be able to enforce some of these aspects against China, punitive damages, if you will. But it's no guarantee that they'll stop.
100% agree. And that's why I think all of this reducing of the fentanyl specific tariffs should only happen once China has demonstrated that they're actually doing something about this. So number one, let's actually arrest some people for producing these precursor chemicals. Number two, the Mexican drug cartels use a Chinese app called WeChat to communicate. Everybody knows that WeChat is monitored by the Chinese government. It's part of the surveillance state. Why do the Mexican cartels use WeChat to communicate? Because they know that the Chinese will not share those communications with U.S. federal law enforcement. So let them start showing they're actually doing some things first before we reduce the trade barriers. Otherwise, you're exactly right. They're going to do the same thing they did back in 2017, say they're going to do something about it and not do anything.
Accountability. We have to hold them accountable.